So I want to give a quick update on my challenge to grow a random product to 100K in sales. And some time ago, I decided that I would take this little book that I wrote and kind of turn it into a showcase of just kind of how you can grow your own product sales for any kind of product-based business using the method that I call right now the product-based league model. And what it is it's a model that it's actually described. Some of it is in the actual book, which is called Solopreneur Profit Machines. And what it is a lot of the methods that I actually learned over the years and that I have used to help promote and sell a lot of different products, ranging from e-commerce products for certain companies that I was helping, all the way to software as a service, as well as information products and all kinds of products. Really, like I actually think, as I said, I actually think you could use some of these methods to even sell, like for a big company like Tesla, and sell their electric vehicles. I really think you could take this product based business league model and actually use it to sell a lot of your product, whatever that's gonna be. So what I've been doing right now in that challenge, in that series, is that I've literally been building the foundation for those product sales. Because let's face it, getting a product from 0 to 100K in sales doesn't happen overnight, especially when you're starting from zero, like I am essentially doing. I hadn't sold that product before. I hadn't built up like a huge audience online, and so I'm basically having to lay the foundation, but there is a process to doing it. So here are some of the key elements of that foundation. One is building a personal brand on YouTube and podcast. This is something that I have mentioned in some of my episodes, how I'm building my YouTube channel, how I'm building my podcast. And the great thing is, and thanks a lot to you guys that are actually watching, is I'm getting a lot of people tuning in and people subscribing to my channel, people checking out my podcast all around the world, which is really amazing. I got listeners in India, I got listeners in the UK, in Canada, I got listeners in Zimbabwe, where I'm from, obviously. I got listeners in just all kinds of countries that I have never been, and so that's really fun. But obviously, it shows that people want to hear about business. People want to know how do they grow their own businesses, which I think is a great thing. And so that's really what's covered in the book. So the book is actually a relevant resource for what I think it's gonna be and what I think it's gonna be for the people that potentially would buy that. But first, I'm building the foundation. So I'm building a personal brand. I'm sharing about myself. I'm sharing a lot of the lessons from the book. I'm actually sharing a lot of the method just for free. Like the method is really simple. You gotta build a personal brand. Take maybe 6 months. Potentially, it might take 10 months to really build up a sizable personal brand. That's a big part of the foundation. And once you got like 5K followers total, you have a big enough personal brand where if you focus on selling your products to that audience, you can actually get to the first 10K in product sales. So that's phase two, is the sales blitz. And then phase three is after you've run that sales blitz for like 4 or 5 months, then you can get into phase three, which is kind of scaling from 10K in total sales to a consistent 25K a month in product sales. So really three phases. But first is the foundation. You gotta build up a personal brand of around 5K followers. That's what I, based on my, understanding and my experiences and my study of the market and everything else, 5K should be a sizable audience for a personal brand that wants to launch a product and have it really get really successful. So that's kind of the process that I'm literally just doing myself as well. You know, just kind of in my spare time. You know, just doing some YouTube and things like that. When I'm not, obviously when I'm not doing my sales. Now my sales gig is something else completely different. You know, it's for me it's been a lot of cold calling, a lot of cold DMs, a lot of prospecting and things like that. So that's a completely different skill set, and hopefully it also showcases that if you're gonna do something that's not a product-based business, it can actually be a lot harder. You're gonna need to do things like cold calling and things like this, which I would not recommend to somebody that's like completely new in business, because this stuff psychologically is just so different that for a beginner it's gonna be very uncomfortable, and some people will be able to make it work. So if you can make that kind of thing work, hey, great for you. But I think for a lot of beginners, doing something like this product-based league, business league model, where you are building a business selling some kind of product, especially if you can just do that alongside your full-time job, I think that's gonna be a much easier way, a much easier path in the game of business. So that's all I have for this episode. I'll catch you on the next one.